Hey there, Absolutely Gospel fans and readers and viewers and everybody in between. We are so excited to be here today. We are talking with the Mylon Hayes family, and we're so excited to have them this time on the site. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing great.
Good. Well,
Doing great.
Doing awesome.
Hope
Great.
you are.
Yes, we're excited to have you guys featured again. Like I said before the interview started, we always like to feature you guys when time comes when a new release is available and highlight that and you guys are family to some of my best friends in the world, which is Becky Peck. And so
Oh yeah.
yes.
We love the Peck family. They're
Yes,
just
absolutely.
precious people.
Yes, she was a songwriting mentor of mine, and she helped me get my start in songwriting. And Tom, of course, is a publishing whiz, and so
Yes, definitely.
I definitely consider your family an extension of that
Oh,
friendship.
thank you. We
Thank
certainly
you.
love them. They've been such a blessing to our family.
Sure.
That's
have.
right. So, for those who are unfamiliar with the Mylon Hayes family, first introduce yourselves, and then give us a rundown of kind of the history of the group and that kind of thing.
Sure. Well, I'm Wendy Hayes, and I'm the mom of the family. And Mylon and Kennedy are not with us at the moment. Mylon's doing some bus things, and Kennedy's taking care of some things in the bus. So we've got Bailey and Connor here, and just me. So anyway, we're delighted to be with you.
Yeah. So what's the history of the group? How did the Mylon Hayes family come about?
What do y'all tell me?
Well, Dad's family, the Hayes family, they traveled for many, many years. And so honestly, that's all that we grew up doing, and we loved it. We learned to love it. And so we grew up traveling with them on the weekends. And so it was whenever they decided to slow down and basically retire, the Lord just opened up the door for our family to start. And whenever we started, He has just poured on the blessings, and we're thankful for it. But we're also thankful for the heritage that they gave to us, and for helping us get our start into gospel music. But it's something that we've always wanted to do, something that we absolutely love. And so we just are thrilled to do it with our family. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's all. I mean, my first recollection of the Hayes family was watching a Gaither video. Of course, seeing them on the Gaither videos, and so it was always cool just to see how the Mylon Hayes family was birthed out of that, but then just took off, and so it's great to see you guys doing what you're doing today. So the main reason we're talking, of course, is about this new album that you got out.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the new album.
Yeah. So we just released our brand new album. It's called Steady and Sure. And we really didn't set out to record 13 songs. We tried to trim it back, and we were hoping to do 10 or 11. But, people like Rebecca Peck sent so many good songs that we just couldn't say no.
Oh, it's hard to weed them out.
And so our producer, Trey Ivy, was like, well, 13 will be okay. So we ended up recording 13 songs. I think only about 2 are somewhat familiar, are not brand new. So the majority of this record is brand new music, brand new arrangements on these older songs that a few people might recognize. But we're really excited about this. This is our first new music release, like brand new music, since 2018. And so it's been a while since we've recorded a full album of new songs. And, so we're really excited about seeing what's going to happen with this album.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you mentioned Trey Ivy is your producer. Have you worked with him in the past, or is this okay?
This is the first full production record that we have done with Trey Ivy. He arranged and played piano and did the tracks for our last project, which was Home.
He and Stan
Whitmire tag teamed and played piano on that. But the first time we ever worked with Trey was, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. He had an album that it was new Fanny Crosby songs, and I'm sure some of your listeners may remember that album. And so we recorded one song and he produced it. So that was the first time that we had really worked with him in the studio. We've known him for years, but we were privileged to work with him on this album, and it really was a good pair. We love Trey, and he's done a really good job with the music with a lot of other groups, and so we were really excited to bring him on board and use him for this album.
That's awesome. So how does this one differ from your previous releases? Is there any kind of differentiation, or on my first listen through, I noticed it had a more full sound, I think, in terms of your tracks. Based on what I remember from previous releases. What would you guys say are kind of the differences between this one and previous releases?
So on this album, whenever we started to record it and started listening to songs and picking songs, we really didn't know, if it was going to take on a theme. We didn't really have anything in mind. We just listened to all the music that was sent with the open mind, of how we wanted the record to be crafted and shaped. And so this one, we named it Steady and Sure, not really because of it's not really like a title track on the record per se, but it's really more of the statement that we wanted the record to give. And we wanted to not only do the songs talk about the steady and sure truths that we read in the Bible, and these songs are reflections of those truths, but it's also an album that we hope is a defining album of that. The music that you're going to hear from the Mylon Hayes family, this is what we're planning on doing in the future, and it reflects what we've done in the past as well. And so we wanted to do a good blend of bringing what we have done previously in styles, and people love the convention style. We always want to make sure that we keep a remnant of that as well on about every record that we do, but also incorporating new songs, but the direction that we wanted to go in the future and our future music. And so really the title of it is the statement of our ministry coming in the future. And so this album, whenever we set out, we kind of listened through, and it took on a theme of the cross a little bit in some areas. And but Trey brought a lot of expertise as well with the musical side of it. And we ended up incorporating quite a bit of orchestra on this album. A lot of songs are the full orchestra. And so it's got a good musical variety as well. You've got your slow songs, you've got your ballads with the orchestra. We've got several fast songs on there. And so we hope that it's an enjoyable listening experience for the listener, but as well as making a statement of what we're planning on doing in the future.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So now you guys just came off of a big event that you guys do every year. Tell us about that. I know you guys are probably exhausted from putting on events. So tell us about that a little bit.
Oh, well, this is our second year doing this event, and it was just wonderful. The first time we did it, we wanted just to celebrate 10 years of the Mylon Hayes family singing. So that was what the first event was about. But then we had so many requests to do it again that we decided we would try to make this an annual event. And so this past year, we, of course, just like you said, we just came off of that event. And yes, we are exhausted. But you know what? It turned out amazing. We were just very thrilled with how it went, and just had a great time with the artist. Sweet, sweet spirit. And then we're on a 24-day trip right now, and I'm not sure who scheduled all that, but we think we might be crazy.
You did.
It's okay. No, we're excited. Yeah. It was a wonderful time. We had a great time with all of our friends.
But our event is called Celebration in the Foothills, and we kind of named it because of where we're located in the country. They call it the foothills of North Carolina, and so we always liked that name, and so we were like, let's just call it Celebration in the Foothills.
That's right.
So it was a great 2 days. We had a Saturday morning session, and so we had some of our very best friends come. And we've always wanted to have, our best friends, the Wisnets, Greater Vision, Mark Trammell Quartet, Joseph Habedank, Jim and Melissa Brady. But we've always wanted to have the Collingsworth family, and we got to do that this year. So that was kind of a bucket list thing for us. So we were really excited to have them.
Yeah, we're already looking forward to next year.
That's right. Well, I was just about to ask. So is there plans? Do you have a date for next year? People can already be planning?
It's going to be August 17th and 18th next year. And some of the groups that are going to be on the lineup is the Booth Brothers. We just secured them, and it's going to be Jim and Melissa Brady as well with them, and Tribute Quartet on the 17th. And then on the 18th, it will be Greater Vision and the Mark Trammell Quartet again, and our family will be singing both times. And we may have a few surprises that we throw in here or there, but we've got a year to decide and wait on that. But
That's right. That's awesome. That's awesome, guys. Well, speaking of being on the road and traveling, sounds like you're on. You guys are doing great in terms of getting back on the road and traveling. And everybody that I've been talking with, COVID has kind of been a big topic, And so I wanted to see how you guys have how COVID affected you first of all, but then now that we're walking out of that season, How are things going? Have things changed for you guys in your ministry?
Well, it seems like that, of course, everybody was kind of just shut down there for 3 or 4 months. And, that was a really scary time for our ministry. I think for all ministries, and churches, we didn't exactly know what was getting ready to happen. And so I think it took everybody by surprise when everything was shut down. So, we navigated through that, and the Lord opened up opportunities for us to maybe do some outdoor things. So that was a help. And then just God's people took care of us. And, for that, we are just so grateful how God provided. And through that season, our daughter Kennedy wrote a song. And so, there was a lot of good things that came out of that season. So, there's all kind of times in our lives that we can be thankful for different seasons. And sometimes the dark seasons are when God gives things to us, to reveals things. And so Kenny was able to write a song called Overwhelming, and that's been a huge blessing to people. And so we're thankful for that.
Yeah.
And I think
in the last year, it really 2022 has been, and 2021 have been two of our busiest years schedule wise that we've ever had. And so we're so thankful for that. God's really blessed us to be able to get back on the road, and still we've had a lot of new opportunities in the last 2 years. We've gone into a lot of new churches, a lot of new events,
as well as catching up all the ones that we
lost
lost.
in 2020. Everybody feels like they're just catching up. But it really has been a great 2 years for us. God has just really blessed us. But 2020 was a good year for us to kind of, we
even did an album.
We did an album, and we got to be home. We've never been home that much, at one time.
Right.
And so that was a blessing for us to be able to be home and recoup, physically, and be in church and get to hear preaching and things like that we don't always get to hear when we're out on the road. So that was a refreshing time for us.
Even at the same time, it also energized us whenever we did get the opportunity to finally start traveling again. I don't think any of us have ever been that excited to get out on the road.
Yeah, we were ready.
I'm sure. Well, there's one last question I want to ask you guys before we sign off, and it's one that I've been doing. I've been covering Christian and gospel music for 20 years myself, and so I always end every interview with this question, and it's simply, what is God teaching you right now?
Oh my, that's a deep question.
It is, yeah.
Well, one thing I know for sure is having a spirit of gratefulness. We do not need to ever take for granted the times that He has provided and the times that He has opened doors that we've not asked for, and how He has given opportunities that we never dreamed, and just meeting people and hearing their stories, people that we would have never come in contact with had He not put us in that place at that time. So I think a spirit of gratefulness for me is to be grateful for just what we have in our family. We had to say goodbye to my brother 3 years ago with cancer, Mylon's dad 10 years ago. And, just being grateful for the time that you have with God's people and opportunities that you get to share the gospel. We never need to take that for granted. So that's one thing that has really come to light for me during all of this.
And, also whenever, of course, the Bible teaches it throughout, how most of the time, Christianity, whenever it's squeezed, sometimes that's when God blesses the most and He brings people in. And so the opportunity that has been afforded to so many pastors, so many artists and groups that are out there traveling, the people that were not open to the gospel 3 years ago, they've gone through something to where they need something steady and something stable in their lives. And so the Lord has taught us patience through all of this, but also it's given us a new desire to make sure that in every situation, every time we get up to sing, that the gospel is presented clearly, and that it's not just the fluff, it's not just the surface things, that we have a responsibility to take the gospel to the world. And through the music that the Lord has allowed us to record and the songs that He's given us to sing, to be faithful to present the gospel every time we stand up to sing. And that's been That's always been a focus of our ministry, but especially in the last 2 years, that's something that the Lord has really just impressed on us, that time is running short, and so we are need to be faithful to carry the gospel.
Just like on our latest album, Steady and Sure, we decided to close the album with the song "Redemption Draweth Nigh," and that. Our producer Trey Ivy brought that to us, and he said, I think we should do an arrangement on this song. And so we're really excited to start incorporating that in our program, because I believe that, as Dad always says, we've heard it all of our lives, just like the song says that Jesus is coming back. And there's even a line in the song that says, some people doubt that he'll come again, but the word of God is true, that he'll redeem his chosen few. And so we're excited to plug that song in and, just tell the world and tell the people that come to our concerts that our redemption, if you're saved, our redemption is near and Jesus is coming. Don't grow weary.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you, guys. Well, hey, before we sign off, tell everybody where they can find you online, social media, all that kind of stuff. Plug your stuff.
Yeah, so we are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Facebook, the Mylon Hayes Family. Twitter is, I think, Mylon Hayes Fam. We couldn't fit all the letters in there. Instagram is the Mylon Hayes Family. Our website is www.themylonhayesfamily.com. You can find our music on there. We are on Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, whole 9 yards.
All of it.
Anywhere you get your music, that's where you can probably find us.
Yeah, but look us up on social media. We want to get in touch with you, and we would love to meet you.
That's
Bands
great. And
and bands in town. If you want to keep up with where we go and every date that we do, if we're in your area, the little app Bands in Town will send you a notification that says we're at such and such a church. So if you don't want to miss another concert from the Mylon Hayes Family, track us on Bands in Town.
awesome. Yeah, and most important, go see you guys in concert and support you. Go to your table, buy something, right?
Oh, yeah.
And make sure that we're supporting you guys that way as well. So, hey, I've enjoyed this conversation. It's been so much fun catching up with you guys. And Steady and Sure, that's the name of the record, right? Get it, check it out, and call your radio stations, ask them to play the Mylon Hayes Family. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. We enjoyed it.
Thanks. You guys have a great day.
You too.